Hey guys, in this video, I'm walking through step by step exactly how I extract some nasty car seats that need to be kind of restarted. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, before we get started here guys, I just want to show you the before so you can see these aren't like maybe the dirtiest seats you've ever seen, but just to give you some context, I extract the seats in this Prius about once a year. So I'm going to be focusing on the back seats here, and there are some spills and stains because basically this car is used to, especially the back, to carry around all different kinds of stuff. So that's why I'm deep cleaning them kind of once a year like you're going to see in this video. So this whole video I'm going to kind of give you guys a kind of deep dive view into how I extract. We're going to talk about different kinds of extracting, different kinds of products and all that sort of stuff. So I mean this to be kind of a deeper look at all of this stuff, and I'm going to kind of do this voiceover just straight through. So I don't think I'm going to stop or anything like that. So you can see, first I used an all-purpose cleaner. Now, many of you guys know Renegade sponsors this channel for 2020. I've been using Renegade products for at least the past year and a half and been using this all-purpose cleaner for at least the past year as well. But I'm using the all-purpose cleaner here because you guys are going to see throughout the video how well it foams up. So the particular all-purpose cleaner that I'm using here is from Renegade, and it's ready to use. So I'm not diluting it at all, though I have diluted it before about 4-to-1, and it worked really well as well. But throughout this video, you guys are going to see the overview is basically going to be all-purpose cleaner, drill brush, stain treatment, and extraction. And that's kind of like the 4-step process on every part of the seat. But again, I'm just trying to give some context here in the beginning. So number 1, Renegade all-purpose cleaner. Number 2, drill brushes. And number 3, I'm using the Mighty Light 8070 heated carpet extractor. So as we go through this, you guys are going to see that as I'm extracting the back seats here, one of the things with extractors is that they're very difficult to maneuver around kind of the contours of a seat. So you can see I'm kind of moving it in every which way and in every different pattern I can kind of maneuver it to make sure that I touch every part of the seat. Of course, if you go along kind of the seams of the seat, it becomes much easier to say divide up the seat into different sections. And so that's kind of what I do when I extract, is I kind of go with the seams. But you guys see here, I'm doing some stain treatment on with a little 2-inch drill brush. The drill brushes that I'm using here actually are a part of the new Wilson Auto Detailing drill brush set that are not out yet. Believe it or not, my box factory actually got closed down just until recently because of the coronavirus. So luckily that's back up and running, but that kind of put a hold on things. That was a little bit frustrating. So anyway, those are going to be out very, very soon, but I'm also using the standard Wilson Auto Detailing drill brushes that are on Amazon right now. And of course, I'll link up all that stuff below. But you see, I did a little stain treatment, a little spot treatment before I addressed the kind of general area of the car. I did that on purpose. That's basically how I do things. You don't have to do them that way, but that's how I do them. My logic is I'd like to take care of the stain or the spill before I kind of spread it to the rest of the seat. A lot of times if it's really dirty, you want to treat that stain before you do anything else, because an all-purpose cleaner like this that's really, really foamy and it's really effective, you guys can kind of see all those white suds. If I didn't treat those stains first and I'm using this drill brush all over the seat, it kind of slings that stain or that spill all over the seat. I'm just really trying to avoid that. So you guys can see here as I drag the extractor across the seat, you kind of see those lines that are left over that are kind of like excess water in between the rows that I'm doing on the seat. Basically, those are going to get sucked up when I'm completely done with the extracting, when I'm done pulling the water spray trigger. And a lot of guys kind of ask, at what point are you using too much water? And while that's kind of a difficult question to answer in a video, it's much easier to kind of be hands-on and look at something like that. I will say that I didn't do any more than 2 passes in this particular scenario at this part of the video with the spray nozzle being held down. And for one reason, it just wasn't necessary, but for another reason, no matter how powerful an extractor you've had or you've used, I've used a lot of different kinds of extractors, especially with different like detailed trainings and clinics and stuff. I get my hands on a lot of different extractors, and I've found that really, while yes, the more expensive you go, generally you're kind of getting what you're paying for, there's none that have such an amazing amount of suction that it makes me feel safe to just drench a seat. And so one of the things with the Mighty Light 8070 heated extractor that I'm using here is it really has a powerful spray nozzle. By the way, the drill brush you just saw is again part of the new set, but I'm going to hook up a link where you can get something like it on Amazon, that kind of round shape that I kind of stuck in between the seats. That drill brush works as a really good kind of in between the seat, so you don't have to maneuver it back and forth. It makes it really convenient. But as I was saying, the Mighty Light 8070 really has a powerful, powerful spray nozzle, and because of that, I move pretty quickly when I'm dealing with it. So in this situation, I'm not moving slowly with my spray trigger being held down, because it is going to put a fair amount of water into the upholstery, and so that's just risk management for me. Another thing you're going to see is that really more than anything being pulled out while I extract are the suds from the cleaner itself. And that's because this isn't a car that carries around like kids that gets like, chocolate milk spills and ketchup and kids from sports getting in and out and much of sweat. This is more like this car carries around like interior design stuff and maybe big gallons of water and like sometimes dog food, and so it's not like a farm truck, but it is something that needs to be done every now and again. And so I'm intentionally trying to pull the suds out of the seat as much as I can, because if you've ever extracted and say you leave a little bit too much of the cleaner in the seat, you end up having a worse problem than you did before. Some people call it like wicking. A lot of times this happens with heavy alkaline cleaners. You might have noticed it happens a lot of times in the headliner as well with a heavy alkaline cleaner like this all-purpose cleaner that I'm using here. If you're not really vigilant to pull out at least the majority of that cleaner, you're gonna get what looks kind of like a spill stain with a kind of ring or outline to it, and it's frustrating because you don't really see it until the seat is dry. And so I'm being really intentional to pull all of that foam and sudsiness out of the seats while I'm doing this. Now, one of the challenges with doing it upright like this on this part of the seat is you have all that foam and all that suds and all that water dripping down as you go. So one of the things I'll do sometimes so that I don't get so much dripping down to the bottom is I'll actually stuff a microfiber towel kind of in that crease there between the sitting part of the seat and the back part, and that way that microfiber towel kind of catches any excess that I might it compensates for some like user error, I guess, if that makes sense. Other than that, this is pretty straightforward. One of the things I do want to note is that as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, I detailed for so long without an extractor. A lot of guys say, man, do I have to have an extractor? And while the answer is, no, you don't have to have it, I will say in situations like this, and as you get more serious in the detailing world, it really will make your life a lot easier and allow you to produce some results that you just weren't able to produce beforehand. I mean, you guys can see that steam that's coming off from that atomized water that the Mighty Light does really well. That heated water makes a huge difference. From somebody who owns two types of extractors, one heated and one not, I can tell you that this makes a huge, huge difference. So I'm going to suck all of that excess water out, dry it off with my microfiber, and here's what the after looks like. Alright guys, that's it. That's like kind of my simple extraction process when I want to hit like the restart button on some car seats that have been left and have some stains on them. If you're looking for any of the tools or products that I used in this video, I'm going to hook up a very organized list of Amazon links below so you can see the extractor, drill brushes, drill, the all-purpose cleaner from Renegade, and all that good stuff. So that'll be very organized below for your convenience. If you're new to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel, then hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos just like this. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, thank you guys so much for being involved. Keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.